ever seen those Groupon Mystery Vacations and wondered how they actually worked? Like, is it really a deal, or is it giving scam, or is Groupon just out here playing in people's faces? Because let me tell you something, I was minding my business scrolling TikTok, and this girl was hyping up these $199 Groupon Mystery Trips, flight and hotel included. And I'm like, hold on, what's that? So of course I had to go to Groupon and look it up. And let me explain it to you so you don't have to read all that. So basically, the trip is $199, but there's a catch. You have to buy a minimum of 2 vouchers. So if you're traveling solo, you're paying an extra $100. There's also different tiers: bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze is usually your major U.S. cities, shorter domestic trips. Silver gives you more tropical destinations, and gold is your premium longer stay destinations. So after I read everything, I called my sister-in-law and said, hey girl, you want to do this mystery vacation with me? And she was like, yeah. Because for some reason, I don't know, she trusts me. So boom, we bought it. $398 total. Now, after you bought the Groupon, you have to complete an online form through the Mystery Vacations website. That's where you put in your travel dates, your backup dates, your airport, a backup airport, you know, the number of travelers and all your traveler details. And this is the important part. Once you submit that form, it's non-refundable. What makes it a mystery trip is that you put your money up first before you know where you're going. So about 72 hours later, we scheduled a call with a travel agent. She gets on the phone, goes over everything, explain how it works. Then she says, okay, I'm about to put you in the drawing. She puts us on hold, comes back and says, congratulations, you're going to Orlando. It was crickets. We were not excited. And she said, have y'all been before? My sister-in-law was like, yeah, numerous times, and I'm tired, okay? Now, mind you, before that, she told us you only get entered into the drawing one time. But then she says, hold on, let me see what I can do. So she puts us on hold again and comes back and says, congratulations, you're going to Las Vegas. Better, not great, but better. Vegas was doable. Then she tried to upsell us to 3 days for an extra $39 per person. We got real quiet because no, we done paid this $199. That's all we paying. So she came back and said, okay, I can keep it at 2 days with no extra charge. So that was perfect. She emailed us the documents. We reviewed everything, made sure that our names matched our IDs, and then we had to accept it. Then 48 hours later, she emailed us again with the hotel details because we didn't know where we were staying. So that's when we found out we were staying at the Sahara, and also saw that we were flying Frontier Airlines. Now, let me tell you right now, that $199, that's not your final price. Because once you start adding baggage fees, seat selection, resort fees, rental car if you choose, and Frontier doing Frontier things, baby, that budget-friendly trip could become expensive real fast. Before the trip, we paid for our seats, about $26 each, done. Then we tried to pack. Okay, you only get a personal item included for free. So we had this grand plan to pack a backpack, and child, when I tell you that was an epic fail, it was an epic fail. Ended up paying $69 for one carry-on and split it between the two of us. And on the way back, we decided to just go ahead and bundle the bag and seats so we didn't have to deal with it. So that cost was $120. Even after their little apology voucher, which by the way was $50, but they only allowed us to use $10 of it. Now let's talk about Frontier Airlines customer service. Our flight that was supposed to leave at 10:30 in the morning got pushed all the way to 5:27 p.m. 7 hours I spent my life in IAH. So that was like half our trip. Since the flight was delayed, they were supposed to give us a food voucher, but somehow they unchecked us in. So now we're scrambling to find customer service to get our food voucher so we can barely pay for the food we shared and get to the gate to board. They finally fixed it, gave us our little $15 food voucher. They gave away our seats, mind you, that we already paid for. And then they tried to offer us a flight credit. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I do not want a flight credit because I don't know if I'm going to fly with you again. So I need you to put it back on my credit card. So eventually we got rebooked. We ran to the gate, barely made it, and finally got to Vegas. Smooth landing. Peace somewhat restored. Now, we rented a car because we had no plans to party on the Strip. That's our past life, okay? We wanted to go hiking, so we rented a car and used my sister-in-law's T-Mobile deal where gas was free, F-R-E-E. Y'all better check T-Mobile, okay, and see what they got. And it came out to be $189 total. So then we got to the Sahara, easy driving, free parking, no drama. Free parking. No drama. And at the front desk, Mason, who was super, super nice, I asked if we can get double beds, and he ended up upgrading us to a bigger room in the Alexandria section, I believe it was, at no charge. Now, as for the resort fee, the travel document said that it would be $38 per night. I thought that sounded like low, but I rolled with it, hoping for the best. I was like, okay, maybe something's changed. We got there and it was actually $62 a night. So the resort fee came to $124 total. Overall, the hotel itself was fine. They said it was a 4-star. Was it a 4-star? She's a little bit older. She got some wear and tear, but it was clean, it was comfortable, and I have no major complaints. So by the end of the trip, including the Groupon, bags, fees, resort fees, rent a car, so we actually paid $449 per person, my share. To reiterate, that $199 covers your basic flight and your basic hotel. That's it. Everything else, that's on you. Now, here's the real question. Would it have been cheaper if I had just booked Vegas myself? And the answer is yes. If I had booked it myself, I would have flown United using my miles. My round trip flight would have been $166. And because I have the Explorer card, I would have had my free check bag and my free carry-on bag. For the same Hotel Sahara for 3 nights, right, bumping it up from 2 to 3, my share would have been $214. And they are currently running a special if you book direct, no resort fees, and you get free daily breakfast, okay? Which is why I always tell you to check the hotel directly. So booking it myself, my total would have been $380 compared to Groupon, around $486. So yes, I pay more money for less control, less flexibility, worse flight options. Should you do this? Only if you're a first-time traveler on a budget and you just want somebody else to handle everything for you, especially if you haven't traveled much. But for you seasoned travelers, absolutely not, unless you want to do it for the flight. Because you already know how to book better flights, use points, pick a hotel, and avoid unnecessary fees. Okay? Save this for later, send it to your travel bestie. And if you've ever done a Groupon mystery vacation, tell me where they sent you in the comments. I want to know. I'm nosy. I hope this helps. Okay, bye.